your wedding day. Such memories. Your smiling face, the love in her eyes, promising of a lifelong journey of understanding and support. So what the fuck happened? You out the house, she got the car, and you're recovering on your homeboy's couch, or even worse, in your parents' basement. Life after marriage is not something most men are prepared for. Many don't even talk about the issues that affected what was supposed to be one of the best things that ever happened. What now? How does your life start over? It's time to talk about it. The Lame Show starts now.
Yo, what's up? This is The Lame Show again with my co-host. This is Jamal speaking to you, but I'm with Daniil,
Yo.
Goran,
Yo.
Andrew,
Yo.
and Killer Kia.
Yo, what up?
Glad to be speaking to you guys again. And we're talking about a very, very emotional topic today. We're talking about something that a lot of us know about. And that is the emotional toll our actions have on women. So we gathered together to have a discussion about, damn, did I know I was hurting her? I know for myself, I'm responsible for a lot of hurt, but I'm going to hand off to my co-host first. I'm going to go with Daniil first. And I'm going to ask him, when he was going through the problems he had with his ex, did he know the emotional toll he was taking on her? So, and after Daniil, I'm gonna go to Drew. So, Daniil, did you know the true magnitude of what you was doing? Because you didn't put hands on her, but you did have some emotional issues that you guys had. So, did you know you were hurting her?
You know, when you first posed this topic, I thought about, certain things that we went through, and through time and through just being around you guys and just talking about different issues, I realized that some of my actions did have, I guess, would have a toll on most people. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say no. I didn't know, like, just going tit for tat, or maybe I'm better at being a smart ass than she is. I didn't know that was considered abusive. Number one, I didn't realize the impact it it had on her. And then fast forward to now me wanting to be intimate, that would always come back to surface. You know what I mean? Because now she's still thinking about how I responded to a situation, whether I was right or wrong. It's how I navigated the conversation. A lot of times I came in too hot.
Do you think you apologized appropriately?
I think you apologize, but if you think you are in the right, the apology may not come off as sincere. Yeah,
that's definitely true, because women, if you try to explain, it's an excuse. It's nothing else other than that. So, Drew, let me go to you. Do you think your actions really gave you a clear picture on the hurt you caused your ex-wife?
Oof. I think it did. I think it did. But you don't realize until after the fact.
Facts.
I don't
So
think.
what did you realize afterwards?
I don't think while you're living in it, it dawns on you. What the magnitude is you're having. I think after the fact you realize it. And then once you start dealing with other people, you kind of, that's when you actually make the corrections of saying, okay, well, I never want to do that again. It's unfair to the person that you hurt in the first place. But usually that's when people learn. Does that make sense?
Yo, absolutely. I
That's
think
facts.
a person telling you you're hurting me doesn't really have the impact as someone that you trust in that moment. for example, if you're going back and forth with your spouse or your lady or whatever, and she says you do this, and you're like, "Get the fuck! I ain't do that shit." And then your boy's like, "Yo, you know what she said?" And you be like, "Yeah, dog, yeah, you did that." It'll be like, "Wow, I did, huh?" Because they can give it to you in a way that it's, for one, it's not loud. It's not, you're not being yelled at,
Mm-hmm.
and you trust this person because they are an outside party with nothing really invested. So I've been told quite a few times, like, I don't tell you nothing because you're not gonna believe it. But when other people do, you kind of get it. And it's because they speak the same language I do. I don't know. Let me ask you, Kier, what what was your experience like when you came to terms with, like, wow, I might have really hurt this woman?
Um, I mean, I think uh, it's tough. I mean, I never stepped out on my marriage. While we were, living together and in a relationship. But I know I did hurtful things, and definitely, um, verbal spats and what have you. Just the things that people go through. And I know I probably said some hurtful things, but I don't know. Um,
Well, let me ask you this:
mhm.
the hurtful things that you said, when you said it, were you trying to hurt her, or were you just trying to
Yeah,
make light of the situation?
no, I was probably trying to hurt. I was using my words as I
Say
think
it
that,
as fist.
yeah, as fists. So I think that's that. I mean, as a man, you're taught never to put our hands on women, so you don't do that. But
But we will
you
say some foul shit.
you will say some foul shit. So I
Yeah,
may be guilty of that. I may be guilty of that, and just trying to kind of win an argument, right? But I mean, are you really winning? I don't know.
what about you, Goran? You were married longest out of all of them, so I'm pretty sure there was some pretty lengthy fights that happened during the course of that marriage. Do you regret anything that you've said to your
Yeah,
ex?
um, we've all said stupid stuff, right? Stuff that we wish we could take back. Um, Stuff that we've said to intentionally hurt somebody. Things that somebody may have shared with us that we knew were maybe insecurities, and kind of threw them back in their face. Um, but in like you said, in that moment, are you thinking like, do I intentionally want to hurt her, or damn, this is going to hurt, but I'm throwing it anyway, right? Um, I, I I don't think guys think before we speak whether we're intentionally trying to hurt them, or whether we're just responding. I don't think we have that 2 or 3 second pause. Like, what I'm about to say is about to blow up some shit. We just say it, right? Because that's how we feel. We were reacting to how somebody's coming at us. But I think D Wright said it after the fact. You're like, oh, dang, I probably, oof, that was bad. You know.
Oh,
So
definitely. I know
yeah,
exactly what you're talking about. I'm gonna speak on this, and then I'm gonna go to Drew. For me, I don't hit. I don't put my hands on anybody, but I have a slick tongue, and I know there's nothing that could be said to me that's gonna hurt my feelings. Absolutely nothing. But I know certain things that will, you know, get through the armor to the women that I'm with. And personally, me, I say it to stop it. Like, I'm not gonna hit you, but I'm gonna say something that's gonna take you back because I want it to stop. I don't want to argue anymore. I'm trying not to yell. Kids may be around or something along those lines, and I'll say something really, really mean and make her think I believe it. Because I think that's the fastest way to get everything to stop. Because as men, we don't go back and forth at all. We usually fight. But when you don't want to bring that physical energy to the person you're in love with, your lady, you do something that hopefully, at least in my case, I would say things that would hopefully make them stop. If they walked away crying, mission accomplished. But I recognize I didn't have to go that route. Maybe I could have walked away, but usually in those situations, they don't let you walk away. You got to talk it out right now. And usually I would be the one to just end it with something nasty. And I've cried knowing that I just said something horrible to somebody that I'm with because I didn't want to be taking it. I cried as much as if I hit her because of the fact that I know that person was really, really hurt. So that's some work I've been doing on myself, but it was never my intention to hurt the person. But usually with those words, they sting. So Drew, I wanted to come back to you. When you said these words, were they in response to something that was done to you? Or was it an action that you did and that she just kept wanting to talk and talk and talk?
So the crazy part about it is I never use my words to fight below the belt.
Okay.
As crazy as that may sound, because you know I could talk reckless, I never fought below the belt with my words. Usually I would just shut down and not say shit because I'm already thinking the worst to say, and I would just shut down and not say shit.
Oh, okay. So what was the response when you were there tears? Did she physically attack you? Because I know I got physically attacked. When I would say like something real nasty, I got physically attacked. And that let me know, okay, now we're gonna stop now. Because you can see how nasty my mouth could get. I'm not gonna hit you, but I'm telling you, yo, let's chill, and you not. So I usually got attacked for what I would say. How did it, and what would be the reaction for you, Drew? Let me get that answer from Drew, and then I'm gonna go to Kier.
Remember, I was just shut down, so I wasn't getting attacked. I would just get the rah, the straight the straight up.
You married an alligator?
Yo, you're a funny dude. Nah, just the yelling, the screaming, and that just made me shut down and just be like, yo, I'm done with this shit.
Right, yeah, definitely makes you want to say, yo, I'm done with this shit. What about you, Kier?
Yeah,
Like,
I think I react the same way Drew does. Like I just shut the fuck down, man. Like I literally do. Like I'll throw my points of reason. I'll throw a hurtful jab out there, and then when the shit gets elevated, I just shut the fuck up and just just go in. Like, all right, whatever. I ain't gonna win this shit, so I'm done.
Danielle, was there ever a time you called your ex out of her name, and how'd you feel about it when you did it?
Wow. Over the years, a lot of things were said. I'll say that. But I feel like in the moment, it felt good.
Okay.
That was the best possible feeling that I could have gone to, other than being violent. And I had to learn that's not the way to operate.
No, I totally feel you. I totally feel you. I think I told you guys like a few weeks ago. Like, yo, I've never hit anyone back, but I got hit this last time, and then I tossed a drink in her face, and that shit felt great because I wasn't gonna
shit.
hit her. But I tossed a drink in her face, and I was like, yo, now you see how I feel to have some physical energy come at you. When I wasn't trying to hit nobody, I was actually trying to avoid the conversation. And it was like, yo, they oftentimes women push us to a point where it's like we come out of character. Like that's why I cried the other day when I was like, yo, I said some nasty shit. Like, yo, I love this person, and I put her mentally in a place where I don't know if she could come back from this. And it's like, is there any alternative outside of hitting? Is there any, or I'm gonna come to you on this going, is there any alternative when you want to leave the situation and the person just continues, wants to talk, wants to berate you, and you really like you're done at that moment? Is there any alternative?
Wow. No, I mean, you can try to sit there and talk it out, but in that moment, I think we've all learned that they really don't want to have a conversation at that point. They just really want to be heard. And we're trying to maybe win or get out of the conversation. So we're looking for those words to either, get out of the conversation or win it. Right. And so in your situation, you're like, yo, I'm I'm gonna win this conversation and I'm gonna end it. So it's like take the drink because that's all I can offer at this moment.
Well,
And
with
those,
the drink wasn't trying to end it. It was the retaliation.
yeah,
But with the mean comments, it was like I'm throwing a knockout blow
right,
because you're
right.
just gonna keep badgering me on this, and I told you I don't want to talk about it anymore. And
And
then
I
I'll
think,
say something rude about the moms who who recently passed, and then it was like, oh, it's over after that. So
yeah,
I went there.
yeah. So like in the situations where we intentionally say something mean, we know we're hurting them, right?
Mhm.
Um, the hard part for me was for me to in a situation where I felt I was just being me, and then
Mhm.
to have someone come back to me and said the way what you said or the way you said it or how you acted hurt me. Um, that took those situations take me back because I'm like I'm just being me.
Mhm.
I was just either trying to be funny, I was just trying to make a comment. I didn't mean anything by it. I was just being me in that moment. But that what I said or the way I said it or what I said hurt that person, and it hurt them deeply to the point to where, like you said, it created insecurities, it created you know distance, it created a conversation later, it created an argument, it created them to withdraw. um and it takes some time to go like, wow, like what I said had that type of effect and that magnitude. That takes a moment to step back and go like, dang, I was just trying to be funny, or I was just trying to make a comment, or I was just comfortable, or maybe too comfortable in a situation and said something stupid, but I didn't realize it would have that type of impact on you.
Oh, okay. Drew, I got this question for you. When men attack verbally, should we view it in the same manner? Should it be viewed in the same way as a physical attack?
No, but usually when men attack verbally, the physical comes next.
From who though?
So if two dudes are arguing, right, there's a verbal attack, right? Usually what comes next is hands
I mean, from who? From either party or both?
from a man.
Well,
Oh,
he's just
okay.
talking about men, though.
You just said when a man attacks verbally. So I'm saying
Right,
usually when a
right.
man attacks
So
verbally, usually there's hands coming next. That's just how we were wired.
okay. I don't think any of us like that are on this show are wired that way. Let me take that to Danielle. Do you think it is the same? A man smacking a woman is the same as a man giving a verbal assault, like of saying something very mean.
I think I misunderstood your question.
Okay. You want to respond to it, or you want to let Danielle go?
Yeah, because you said when a man attacks verbally, are you saying when a man attacks a woman verbally?
Yeah. Yes, that's what I was talking about.
Okay. Um, I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's the same because men are usually gonna attack verbally when they're trying to defend themselves because they can't attack physically when it comes with dealing with a woman.
Oh, okay. Danielle, what about you? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking like this. I'm thinking over some thoughts in my head, and I think part of it could have been tied to my childhood as well, because being a foreigner, you kind of tease for your accent, the way you talk, and you just growing up having to be slick with it, especially in New York, and being in the lunchroom. I don't know if you remember the lunchroom in high school.
Oh yeah, you had to be ready.
You had to be ready,
Practice this in the mirror before I go to school. Yeah, your mother's so fat.
Yeah, that your snap. We used to call these things snaps. Yeah, yeah,
Snap.
have your snaps ready, and so I guess when you have that mindset to some degree, you know, in the moment, I didn't think what I was saying was that bad, and because if it was me, it would roll off my back. I wouldn't even, I wouldn't even sit there and ponder over it.
Right.
But
It doesn't affect us like that. It was just
right,
like,
right, and I couldn't
it-
get that. Like it's like this person's not me, you know. Um,
and like you said, growing up in a lunchroom, like especially here in New York City, your skin is tough.
right.
It's like there's nothing you can say to me that hasn't been said and didn't make. It's like, you want to go here? Okay.
Facts.
Yeah. Like, yo, New York City lunchrooms prepare you for life. For real. It was just like, yo, you could tell me anything and I'll come back at you. Cause I'm just that's what's bred in me. And I go places that people just get upset about and they want to fight me. Thank God I've never had any fights, but that's
Um,
just I go for the jugular.
That's a good
And
point
what's that?
because of there's cultural differences too, right? Like
Oh,
there's
absolutely.
there's some cultures that are you have to, if you're not there, if you're not at the table coming back, it's like you're seen as weak. Then there's other cultures where if you are, coming back or saying something, you're seen as disrespectful. So
Hmm.
if two people have different cultures or different ethnicities, and one person is saying something, they're expecting you to, to come back, and you don't, your culture is different to where you actually want to listen or hear, and you don't really have a comeback. That's going to create a big divide, right? Because then he or she may see the other person as weak or inferior, or the other person might see that person as aggressive or overbearing or trying to control the situation. So yeah, that's a good point.
And it's, I think for men, and then I'm gonna go to Janelle on this one. It's like we're actually shocked when we see the toll it takes, because before we say what we say, we were called all types of motherfuckers and bitches and not and told very not nice things. But then when we respond, it's like, whoa, you really said that to me? Daniel, have you had that experience where you were getting bombarded with all types of words, and then when you was like, okay, I'm gonna pull a New York City lunchroom out of my repertoire and
That's
handle it.
why your mama. No. I mean, of course, yeah. I've been in those situations, and it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, all these things are being said towards you, and you could take it personal if you really break down what she's saying. But you're like, all right, you went there, I'm gonna go there, and then you say some really, really underhanded shit, and that look on her face is like it catches you every time, you
Yeah.
know.
It
But then the next day when you talk to your boys, you might say, "Yeah, man," and then I called her a bitch. Oh,
not the B word, not the B
Kia,
word.
Kia, I see
It
you
it
trying to
it
say something. Well, go
yeah,
ahead, Key.
it's a defense mechanism though, right? Like, I mean, we talked about it. Like, you're not about to put hands on her. So, I mean, like, what are you going to do? I mean, at some point you got to defend yourself, right? We've been taught to defend ourselves. So that's really all you got. Get the dirtiest shit you could do and throw it in her face. You be like, I mean, like, oh, and then she look, and then she start crying, and you're like, oh shit, why the fuck did I say that? But I mean, it is.
Now,
It's a defense mechanism. It is what it is. You got to fight back some way, and that's the best way you know how.
But like in a situation like that where, like you said, that was intentional, right? You were like, I gotta, I'm not gonna get punked. I gotta say something, right? So you're like, all right, this is what I'm gonna say. But for me, it's like the times where you may have made a joke or made a reference or just said something, and then that person came to you later and was like, hey, what you said or that joke you made, that wasn't funny. That actually hurt me. Have you guys ever had a situation like that where it was like you were just in the moment, laughing, joking, talking to your boys, making a reference or something, and your lady came up to you and said, "Hey, what you said, that wasn't funny. I didn't, I may have laughed at the moment, but that wasn't cool. I didn't like that. That was very hurtful.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think, especially when they come to us and say how they were hurt, we don't. I know my problem is I don't believe it all initially. I'm like, yo, I ain't even that pissed you off, and that leads into a bigger argument because you're forcing that person to prove to them how much you hurt them, rather than taking it for face value. And it's like, for me, it's all fair game once you start, because I didn't start, and I'll say something nasty after something nasty's been said to me. But we've been speaking on a lot of verbal assault. None of us have ever hit a woman. But I want to ask, when we did certain actions that were eventually uncovered, did any of us think, wow, this might destroy her? I know personally, I didn't, because I thought I wouldn't get caught. This will never come out. I'm gonna go to you, Danielle.
Say that one more time. Has anybody did the what? I
Like,
couldn't
when
follow you.
you did certain actions that that led to certain drama, before you did it, did you think, wow, this is gonna destroy her, or this could really hurt her bad if she finds out?
No, because I was operating. Listen. The times I had before I got married was different, man. Once I got married, I was very faithful. I thought I wore like a badge of honor. When I said it I think in a couple episodes back, when I was doing certain things, I was trying to get caught. I didn't really. I was very apathetic to it. I didn't care if I got caught or not. I was hurt. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, you know, the topic is, do we think about it? I mean, being through that, I would never do that to in that way again. If somebody was throwing a lot of verbal jabs at me, I, I would definitely try my best not to respond. I promise you
Yeah,
that.
I definitely understand that, because when you see those tears and the
Hmm.
hurt you caused, it's like, damn, I didn't have to do that. I didn't. And then
And
and
then
you think about it, what led you to attack in that way didn't even hurt you that much. It was just like, yo, I want to shut her up. What were you gonna say to them?
yeah, and then at the same time, I already know where it's going to go. So I mean, I would not have grown if I'm still doing the same things.
Right. What you want to say on that, Drew?
No, what I was gonna say was that so like when you're doing it in the moment, you're basically trying to talk yourself into why it's okay. Not that it's okay, but like you're basically giving yourself excuses on why you're doing what you're doing, and you're not
Facts.
really thinking about the consequences, or you're not thinking about how it's hurting the next person.
Mm,
I agree
that's
with
deep.
that.
That's deep. Yeah, because I definitely wasn't thinking about the repercussions. Like, I've had women tell me, "I wish you would have hit me rather than do what you did," and
Right,
that was
and
damn.
you don't think what you said was that bad. You're like,
Right.
that did it.
But yeah, that, like, yeah, you said damn. I was like, yeah, that hit me hard. I was like, damn, you rather me whip your ass than do what I just did. And that took a toll on me, because you really see the carnage in that point, and your actions have changed that person's life forever. It won't ever trust anyone the way that they trusted you. They may not even love them the way that they used to. They were so vulnerable, and you kind of use that against them in a fight, in a verbal fight. And that's something that that I really try to refrain from doing nowadays. It's just like, I either walk away or I'm quiet, and that pisses them off more sometimes when you just quiet.
That's a fact.
That's definitely a fact.
But you're not causing the pain that you've caused in the past. Goran, would you say when did the would you say the emotional toll you were dishing out? When did you ever come to a point where you say, "All right, I'm not doing this no more"?
Yeah. I didn't kind of realize it until the end. Because I think you said it earlier. You kind of debate the fact of was what I said, was that really that bad, right? But when someone continues to tell you over and over again the way you're behaving or what you're doing hurts me, and your initial reaction was, I was just joking, I was just playing, or really like you don't understand it from that person's perspective, or you don't understand it from their shoes, or it didn't hurt you, so you don't feel it the way they felt it, you kind of dismiss it. And so for me, it wasn't until like shit really hit the fan to where I was like, wow, I need to probably look back and be like, I guess it really, I guess she wasn't joking, and she was serious, and not only serious, but like really serious. How either what I said or what I did, how hurtful it was. It was hurtful to the point of, you know, things are going to change from here on out, and they're never going to be the same. Um, so yeah, that's I think, for the people listening, the sooner you realize that what you say or what you do hurts someone, um, the more you can take time to understand that from their point of view, then you can course correct and potentially um, prevent those times happening in the future to potentially start building a healthier relationship. Because if you don't recognize those and you just do the courtesy, yeah, I'm listening, I get you, my bad, I'm sorry, I won't do or say that again. Um, that's going to get you in trouble because you're just going to, that person doesn't feel satisfied or feel relieved, or the apology isn't genuine, to where they're like, they don't feel like the situation is resolved. And if it keeps happening in different scenarios, it's going to build and build and build to where they just had enough. And a person can only take but so much.
That's a
And
And
bar.
once they
That's a
yeah
I,
bar.
what
I'm sorry, but I absolutely hate those moments because I'll be genuine, and it just never seems like enough.
yeah
I'll apologize, I'll acknowledge, I'll ask for forgiveness, and then I'm hearing the same shit 2 weeks later. And it's like, yo, didn't I just apologize for that? And I think men need to be more vocal about that. Like, yo, that takes a toll. It's like if you can't get over it, and I haven't given you what you need to get over it, and you don't know what's gonna help you get over it, I think you need to wait and figure that out before you come back to me. Because if I'm being bombarded with things that you feel that in ways that you think I've wronged you, and the emotional toll is taken on me, and it's like, what can I do to help you get past this? And your answer is, I don't know. That's torture,
yeah I, I
and
got I got
and
something
people
to
want
that.
to. There's backlash after you've tortured someone for a while. Go ahead, go.
So you know you know how a lot of people say it's very hard to please a woman, sexually. Women need more than just penetration to get off, right? Like
Right?
it's a combination of conversation, intimacy, sex, and then after sex and all that other stuff. I think it's the same way for women in a conversation. When you say hurtful stuff, it's more than just I'm sorry. To get them, to satisfy them, to where they can feel whole again, to where they can feel restored, that you're truly genuine about what you said or what you did. um I think it takes a lot more than just, oh, okay, I see, that was really fucked up, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, or dang it, my bad, I shouldn't have did that, or yeah, you're right, you've been nagging me to take out the garbage for a week now, I won't do that again, I'll make sure the garbage is taken out. I don't know what the answer is, but I think there's a deeper level to that. I think the answer needs to be more like, all right, I see that I haven't taken out the garbage all week and you've been asking to take out the garbage all week. You know what? Moving forward, I'm going to take out the garbage before you ask, because I understand that you don't like to go out and take the garbage because, there's snakes and raccoons and rapists out there. Like you don't feel secure taking out the garbage. So I'll do it. You know, so I don't know the answer, but I think there's more to, when women are hurt by actions or verbal things. I think there's more to there's more to it that we as men, we've got to step up and try to understand so we can satisfy them so they don't
Okay.
continue coming back at us.
What you got on that, Danielle?
Yeah, I think that that comes from growth, though. I mean, I would not have thought about even trying to sit through an argument and and not try to overpower it. To what G was saying. Now I'm a lot older. I'm a lot calmer. I know there's nothing good coming of me saying what's on my mind right now. You know what I mean? So I think there's nothing good of you calling her out of her name, going back and forth. If she's gonna still come at you because you're keeping quiet, you know, once you say, "Listen, right now I'm not in a good space to have this conversation with you," and
But that doesn't
if
always
that's
work.
not enough, hey, that has to be enough, though.
It should be.
In what world? What
Has
are
to
you
be
talking
enough.
about?
It
That's
should be.
enough.
Yeah, bro. It should be, but that doesn't satisfy them.
Like-
I'm sorry, bro.
It
That
has
shit,
to be enough. Man.
that
Like,
shit
yeah,
inflames. That's like throwing
it's-
gas on the fire when you say that shit. Like, I'm not in a good space to talk about this right now, so we got to revisit this
How is that
later.
possible?
And then, bro, I'm telling you, you've been through it.
because they
Let's
want
role
what they
play.
want.
Listen,
That's role play. That's role play.
we're not fucking role playing.
No,
You know-
I can't bring myself to do that. I say a lot of crazy stuff on this show.
Right now,
I really can't role play with you right
now, we're both upset. I don't want to say anything hurtful.
Yeah, you why I'm upset. You why?
Oh, here they go.
There they go. Yeah, you why I'm
I-
upset. So you trying to say you want to control this right now? You want to end this conversation when I have so much to say right now? You want to end this?
Do you feel like you're frustrated right now?
No, I don't. I want to be heard.
Okay.
Can you listen to me?
I'm going to listen to you.
Okay, and then questions come.
Maul's on level
Here come the
Jedi
questions.
with this argument, so don't try
You
to
know what
get
I'm
into
saying?
an
Then the
argument.
questions come. So it
It's
comes
fresh.
like, Daniil, so what were you thinking when you did that? You can't just listen. They want you to engage.
Right now, I'm not in a position to really have this conversation with you the way you're having it with me.
In what world does that shit work?
I know.
I mean-
like, who did you argue with? Like, yo,
I mean,
who?
back then, yeah.
A
But
deaf
right now, it's I'm not getting down. Nah. Then we don't need to be together.
Yeah, you need to be single for the rest of your life.
That's the plan.
Oh,
All right,
man.
so
So I got one question for everybody.
okay.
We've all lashed out when we heard something come our way. Did it ever enter your mind and be like to tell her, "Wow, that hurt me," the
Men
way
don't
that
do
they
that.
tell us?
Men don't do that.
So, would you do it now, Kia?
Probably not, because men don't do that.
Let me go down the line. Daniil, would you do that?
Say it one more time.
If you are having an argument, instead of lashing out with the New York City lunchroom credentials that you have and coming back with a nasty comment, would you say, "Wow, that hurt me"? I can't believe you said that.
I would say that hurt me. I
No, you
can't believe
wouldn't.
you said that, and I want an apology.
You lying. You would not say that shit.
No cap.
What about you, Andrew?
Hell no, no.
That's my man right there, son.
Hey,
I'm
Gordon,
just-
come
I'm
on,
just
come
gonna-
on, come on,
I'm
go
just,
through.
I'm just gonna shut the fuck up and take it and just be salty.
So
What about
am-
you, Gordon?
Am I
Gordon's
the
advanced,
tiebreaker?
though. Gordon's the Jedi.
I would say, I think I've said that. I was like, "Wow, that hurt." Try to give a different response. I've said it.
Yeah, no, real talk. I'm with D. Right. I've recently, I was like, yo, that hurt. What you said hurt me, and I don't like the way I feel right now, so I'm not talking about this.
I knew G
I've
was
said
gonna
that.
give that answer. I knew he was gonna come with the
Yeah.
bar.
But I mean, like you said, this is 40 plus years in the making, right?
Yeah.
To where I could finally express like what you said hurt me, or how you said it, or whatever it was. I don't feel good about what you said.
Which is the mature response.
Yeah.
And how did
Yeah.
that go for you? How did that go for you?
And you get them in their feelings, and women are always in their feelings. So G got out.
Yeah, surprisingly. Well, see, now you're playing in the woman's field, right? As soon as you
Exactly.
said that, as soon as
You
you
can't
said,
win.
yeah, as soon as you said, I feel this way, that sparked something in them. And then the response is, sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel that way. Why did you feel that way? What could I have said differently? So it like you said, Maul, leads to a bigger conversation. But in the moment, it felt good to say it because, traditionally I would have never said anything. I would just let it roll off the tongue, and then we wouldn't have talked for a month, And
Well,
then when I
yeah.
was ready to talk, when I was over it, then we'd have, resumed our normal relationship.
Well, you did good, G, because I know the H-Town Knocking the Boots came on after that, and y'all was in there rocking the headboard. So that's a
Right.
good job, man. I think that was great.
Yeah, from this conversation, I think we've all graduated from ever calling the women that we're involved with a bitch again. Like, we would just be like, you hurt me, and I'm going to walk away right now. And we can talk about this
Yep.
later.
Be quiet, but all right, so I'm gonna close this one out. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining the Lame Show. This was a very interesting topic. We touched on some nerves and things that maybe we shouldn't be doing in arguments with our ladies. So hopefully people got some information on us just spinning this top. But thank you guys again. We appreciate you. If you'd like to continue supporting the show, please go to buymeacoffee.com/The Lame Show, where we are accepting sponsorship for as little as $5 a drink or $10 a month. We appreciate
$10 a
everyone.
month.
Also join us on Clubhouse every Monday at 8:30. We continue to do that and have a lot of great conversations on there where you can interact with us. Guys, got anything to say before we close this one out?
Absolutely. If
Lame
you haven't
Show.
done so already, go ahead and download all 31 episodes. Binge it if you have to. It's worth it. Promise you that.
Yeah, The Lame Show, the only show for the male perspective. Remember
There you
that.
go.
Male
G.
perspective.
Get that
I
bar.
like
Get that
that.
bar. Male
One more time,
perspective.
G.
The only show, The Lame Show, the only show for the male perspective.
There you go. There you go. Thank you guys. We'll catch you next time.
Later. We out.
Later.